What made you join Nerdfighters?
I joined Nerdfighters in a really odd way. I found out about it by liking a post on Tumblr and tagging it. And someone had read my tags and they were a fan of my art and they were like, oh, you go to Texas State. And they just out of the blue invited me to Nerdfighters. And me being this shy, reclusive little sophomore, was like, sure, I'll come. And I didn't know that would basically change the rest of my college and my regular life for.
What made me join Nerdfighters? Well, I was already looking for a club to begin with. I was at the career fair and then all of a sudden I saw the booth and I saw the Master Sword. And I knew that I had to at least come to one meeting because with a prop that nice, oof, so nice, so good.
I think the one thing that made me join was, the positive vibes towards, stuff I like. You don't get a lot of that these days, It just seems good to be around people who I can hang out with and, just chat with about things that I enjoy, like games and stuff like that. And it's just fun, I don't have to worry about people.
My friend Val, who you met recently, she was like, hey, come to Nerdfighters, because I know you have no fucking life. And I was like, valid. And so I didn't have anything going on, so I went with her. And then I came, and then I don't even remember what we did that meeting. But whatever it was fun apparently, because I would have come anyways. But anyway, I hung out with you and Kristen, and it was like, whoa, oh my god, these people are cool, and these are officers, so the rest of the club is cool. And so yeah.
Well, I was on Reddit one day. I was bored. I wanted to go try something new, and I saw this Reddit post on the Texas State subreddit saying yo, check us out, we're Nerdfighters. I was like, well, I'm a nerd. I like to fight people. So I showed up and made friends, and here I am.
What made you join Nerdfighters?
Just the fact that there's people with common interests around. Because usually I kind of hide the fact that I'm a bit of a weeb from normal people, because that's that's a hard topic to talk about in public. So I can't just walk up to someone, hey, you see the new show that just came out? It's like, no, there's no guarantee that they know what exactly it is. Here, we actually started making our own show for Wes.
Sono chino sarame.
And just the fact that I could actually be myself was one of the best aspects of the club.
I joined Nerdfighters because one night, amidst all my meet and greets and celebrity viewings, I had an open schedule and it just happened to be Thursday at 8, and I said, you know what? Let's go see what the nerd community's up to. And that's when I went there and realized, oh, I am the nerd community too.
I joined Nerdfighters originally because I was invited by my brother Travis to come and experience it and see what it was like. He always was telling me these great stories about all the fun stuff that was going on, so I decided to check it out, and since then I've tried to just come every week because Nerdfighters is just awesome. There's something about it, it's hard to pin down, the whole club's hard to pin down, but Nerdfighters is a really just fun club, and I've made some really awesome friends.
You want to go to here or there? What do you want to do?
So, what is a favorite trait, story, or aspect you have about Kristen?
She's always been a really amazing president. I don't know what to say except for that, well, I'm gonna miss her, really. She's done a really stand-up job.
Well, I mean, she's always like super positive, especially when it comes to like online games and stuff, and the competitive scene. You know, she always keeps that vibe of positivity. I feel, especially when you enter something as toxic as Overwatch, and she just always manages to keep people smiling. I think she keeps me smiling at least, so that's one thing. And I barely know her.
Kristen, there is this like, anytime like we go to Whataburger, I feel like I have a good time with Kristen because I always happen to sit with her, and that's pretty cool. Like we're just sit there, and she always gets. Oh yeah, she convinced me to get onion rings one time, and that was really good. And now I know Whataburger actually has onion rings, which is amazing. So like, thank you, Kristen, for that. That's your impact on my life. But yeah, and then I don't know, she would tell me stories about like the old times with like Nerdfighters, and that was always really cool hearing about all the stories with everyone, and that sounded like a fun time. And they were good stories to listen to.
Kristen, she's really, really funny. She's the type of funny that it just I don't know, it just kind of hits you. Like she'll say something, and then at least for me, there'll be like a second where I have to process it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
The fact that she used my Elvis Cool Guy drawing in her groupie picture, I thought that was really cool. Cause I don't know, I don't draw much. Well, I used to draw a lot, but not much anymore. And I just liked how she thought my drawing of the ice cream guy was cool enough for her to change her group me icon too.
I think Kristen's favorite trait/aspect would be her artwork. She's definitely one of the, if not the most creative in the entire group.
Kristen, to me, has always been a cornerstone of honesty and integrity in matters both Nerdfighters related and personal. And it goes without saying that she's done an amazing job as president. Kristen, it has been an honor and a pleasure working with you, and I am really going to miss you. Nerdfighters is not going to be the same without you.
Kristen, I think, is a beacon of intelligence. I can ask her anything about Nintendo, about Mario characters, and whether they're single, and she's got it from me. No one can mic my Ikes better than she can.
Let's see, Kristen. Kristen is just, it's hard to pin it down to any one event. She's always just like a really positive and like helpful person, like in Nerdfighters and after Nerdfighters. She's always there with her truck for driving people after. She's always there at officer meetings, helping out, getting events together. She's just, I don't think I've ever had a negative experience with Kristen. She's just one of my favorite people in Nerdfighters and just generally who I know. Yeah, and she's just always really positive and supportive of anything that's going on.
What is a favorite trait, story, or aspect of Sarah?
Sarah, oh my god, she's emo and I love that. Okay, like I was telling you earlier, what is it? I think the first time I talked to her was when she was going to emo night later that night, and so I saw her and I was like, wow, I love an emo queen. And so I was like, I need to talk to her. And then I can't remember if we talked at the meeting. I think I did. And then we talked a lot at IHOP, and that was pretty good. Got to know her a lot there, and I was like, cool, cosplay friend. But yeah.
Okay, so this is a quick story. One of my favorite things about Sarah is just how relentlessly positive she can be. This is, I don't really want to say I was on a dating app, but I was on a dating app. And she was kind of helping me look at people. And every single person, she had something really, really positive to say. It's like, oh, this person's like smiling and it looks like she's having fun. This person, like, it looks like she's really into this show and that's really interesting, and so on. And it was just really eye-opening, the way that she described people and talked about people, because it made me realize, like, oh yeah, like everyone has something really good about them. and so I try to like get into that mindset.
My favorite trait about Sarah would have to be that she's super kind and super welcoming for everybody, and she's really meshed well with everyone in Nerdfighters, I think, and she's been a great addition.
Well, she was actually the first one that I met from Nerdfighters at one of the club presentations over at the ballroom. She pretty much told me what Nerdfighters is all about and like how fun it is, and she was right. She was definitely right about this. I loved being here. It was probably one of like the best I had coming here.
Sarah. I once saw Sarah extract a gibbering mouther from a dying genasi.
I think Sarah is very nice and amazing, obviously, but I also really appreciate the like spiritual connection she has to cats. Like, sometimes I look at her and I'm not sure if I'm not just looking at like a really sweet, tiny, like, you know those cats that, they're not albino, but they have like all white fur, and they have like the blue eyes, and you're like, oh my god, I'm losing my, can I swear on this?
Sure.
I'm losing my goddamn mind. Yeah, just really sweet and helpful.
I was oblivious to Sarah for about half of the semester. I never would have expected an incoming member to sweep me off my feet, but that's exactly what she did. Looking back to before we were dating, I always saw her as an incredibly bright and enthusiastic member who made fast friends with everyone. I am so happy that she decided to join, even though it was her last year and in spite of an already full schedule. And that she's become a part of my life on a whole other level.
Let's see. Sarah is one of the nicest and kindest people that I know. She's been a really awesome Nerdfighter to have for this year. She's always just super sweet and awesome to everybody, but she's also like really competitive in a good way. Like when we were doing Fight Nerds, and she was basically the leader of our team, more or less, like Team All Fight, woo woo. She pretty much took charge and like really stepped up for a lot of the challenges, and I respect her for that. Like even though it was just like a game, she really like went above and beyond. And if she does that in the game, then she must be really awesome in a lot of her like school and real life stuff. I've also had her in my D&D campaign, and she hasn't been in for super long, but in the time she's been in, she's like been just a really fun like person. She's basically our group's cheerleader, which has always been like really positive for the sessions. Had a really good effect on everybody else. So yeah.
So what is a favorite trait or funny story or aspect you have about Travis?
About Travis? Well, he was one of the first people that I met in Nerdfighters, and he really helped me feel welcome, and we became good friends. And I guess one of my favorite stories is that he doesn't really know this one, but one day I was eating at Commons alone, and he came and joined me, and we started just talking. And I mentioned that I wanted to get a new mic for my Xbox. I didn't clarify that it was for my Xbox. I just said I want a new mic. He misheard me as saying bike, and I didn't say anything, and I just let the conversation go from there. He just seemed so excited about it that I just went with it. So that's probably my favorite story, and I hope Travis sees it.
If you've ever seen Travis's impressions, you'd relate.
My presence in this club is thanks to Travis. We met in Honors Organic Chemistry my freshman year, and after a couple weeks in there, he came up to me after class one day and said, "Hey, I'm in this club, and we like just a bunch of people who like comics and Star Wars and stuff like that. It's called Nerdfighters. Now, I'm not trying to say I think you're a nerd or anything, but I just kind of think that you might like it." And so then after a little bit of mock offense, I found myself going to my first Nerdfighters meeting that night. And the rest is history.
Travis. Travis introduced me to Nerdfighters from the beginning. I wouldn't be here without him, plain and simple. He's my brother. He kind of helped me find friends at college by just inviting me here to Nerdfighters, and it was a really awesome thing of him to do. Like, there's a tendency sometimes among older siblings to try to keep things they do separate from their little brothers, but Travis just was like, hey, come join this, it'll be really fun, and that was really cool of him.
What is a favorite trait, story, or aspect of Desiree?
Oh my god, I love Desiree. Desiree's so cool. I think, shoot, I like so many things about Desiree. Order is one of them. That sounds like I'm lying. Okay. Which one should I pick? Okay, I love how funny she is, cause like she like is like I cannot like with her and Tristan and Justin like we're all together and it's like she is the funniest person ever. Oh my god, I do not like everything she says. I laugh and I'm like oh my god, and the way she goes, I'm baby. It's like it's iconic and like it always makes me laugh.
About Desiree, well, she's always been a really good friend in Nerdfighters to me. Like whenever I'd go over to hang out, she'd always be really welcoming. Like she was one of the people who really made me feel welcome whenever I first joined the Nerdfighters to begin with. I was just not saying I'm gonna miss you or anything.
Desiree, alright, so first of all, she's the best Fortnite player out there. Second of all, she's really, really smart. And she's just strong. Like more than anything, I would say she's really strong.
What I like most about Desiree is that she's really kind and it's really fun to be around her. And she's done a lot of Nerdfighters and a lot for Nerdfighters and I really respect that.
Oh, I think it was Desiree, but when we went to our help, we talked about like tattoos and how she had one for her dad, and I thought that was pretty cool because I have one for my dad too. Like we had I like how we share the common ideal that of remembering our loved ones through marking our skin with ink.
Favorite trait about Desiree. She typed every message in all caps.
I've always loved Desiree's sense of humor. I really hope that you stay around in the group chat because I'm really gonna miss your witty remarks and occasional lapses into gibberish in there.
Let's see, Desiree. Desiree's just one of like the sweetest and most responsible people I know. Like, she is always like really kind and like always has like really nice things to say about other people and generally just like a ray of sunshine like all the time. But she's also like really responsible. Such as when we were doing Bobcat build, us officers, when we were organizing it, she was pretty much ahead of the game, always preparing things, always was working with the people she needed to do, and just like really was like the driving force between us participating in Bobcat build. And then there's of course her nursing major and getting into nursing school, which I don't know a whole lot of the details of, but I really respect her for like really working super hard to get into nursing school. So all in all, just like a really sweet and powerful person.
So Desiree is very strong emotionally, but also physically. Not many people know this, but when threatened, she can and will be an unstoppable force. I've once seen Desiree when I was low on gas. The light was on and I was feeling pretty nervous. And Desiree looked me dead in the eye and said, "What are you worried about?" Got out of my car, picked it up behind her back like a preschool backpack, and just carried it all the way to Shell.
If you have any advice to give to leaving members, what advice would you give them?
Stay positive. Don't do anything that's gonna damper your mood. Don't be toxic. Don't be that guy who ruins the time at the party. Smile. Be strong. Get through what you're going through, I guess, and just keep your chin up.
Always remember to have fun.
Call your mom and tell you you love her. Unless she's mean or something, that's valid too if you hate her. But I feel like moms need to be told they're loved, and dads too. But usually dads are shitty. I haven't met a good dad in a long time. Anyway, sorry. This is a good advice to your parents. Be nice to them. They miss you. I don't know why I'm telling you all that. You probably know that more than I do. But anyway, I love you. Bye.
Don't let other people's opinions stop you from doing what you love.
I do have one thing. It's pretty basic, but first impressions are always the best. Always you gotta make them the best, because if you get a bad first impression on someone, it's gonna be really hard to change their mindset on you.
Don't ask permission first, apologize later. The world is your oyster, and most speeding limit signs are a social construct.
Kristen, I wish you the best of luck with your future endeavors, be they artistic or otherwise. Travis, I wish you the best of luck as you continue job hunt. I know that it can be tough, but I'm sure that you're going to find something great for you. Desiree, I know that you are going to do awesome at nursing school. Keep being awesome. Stay in touch. All that. Alright, yeah, whatever.
Don't forget to be awesome.
Don't forget to be awesome.
Don't forget to be awesome!
Don't forget to be awesome.
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 DFTB, hey!
Don't forget to be awesome!
Why I joined Nerdfighters? Well, 3 years ago, Kristen told me about Nerdfighters. She told me that a lot of people just meet up, play games, have fun, just nerd out. I decided to go one day, and you know what? It was the best decision ever. I've made so many friends, met so many amazing people, and it is an honor that I am able to be a part of your life. And I thank you all very much. And if I were to give anyone advice, it would probably be for Travis. And it would probably be not to do weird stuff with his bike in public. I feel like that's a thing. Also, not meaning to flex, but